Being employable is important for English students because they have so much to offer. Our graduates are people who communicate well and are also good with people, who understand how others think and feel. And that's right at the heart of English. If you study literature, you're reading literature which is all about people's lives. It's all about human experience. And similarly, if you do language, you look at the way people talk to each other. You come to understand how people communicate in considerable detail. Our students develop quite a wide range of skills, actually. I think I would put right at the top of the list communication skills. At the heart of our subject is discussion and talk, and so they are really used to working with other people in that way. There's much more digital content to our degrees than people sometimes think there will be. I also teach a module on digital narratives, interactive digital narratives. I teach the students some coding so that they can build creative projects of their own. All our degrees provide you with the opportunity to have a year away from the university, working in business or in industry, and then returning to complete your degree. And that can actually be very beneficial. People return with more highly developed skills and a stronger sense of what they want to do, which is very motivating in that final year. I think it's important that there are humanities graduates out there in society working, and particularly English graduates. And the reason for that is they have an unparalleled understanding of human beings, of society, of how we communicate, of how we feel about things, of how we operate in complex situations. And I think it's important that English students understand that about themselves and are proud of how good they are at that kind of thing.